You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you in another Let's Play episode of Psychic Connections Aiden's Path. So, the last place we left off was, oh yeah, we were about to go to sleep and we were texting a cutie boy, Aiden. And I believe we should pick it up right there, shall we? 2022 can't come soon enough. I miss updates for this game. But I wish the dev team well, and I hope that they have a good break. Anyway, guys, let's jump right back into it, shall we? Alright, start that timer. Alright, Alarm Chat, you are up. Okay. I suppose it makes sense. A young business tycoon is probably more likely to follow politics. As enjoyable as this conversation has been, Mason, I really must finish this chapter before retiring for the evening. So I do hope you don't mind if I excuse myself. No, go ahead. Have a good night. And to you as well. Now, that was certainly an interesting conversation, even if it was cut a bit short. I learned a bit more about Aiden, too. Really, though, I should probably go to sleep as well. There'll be time to chat up the others later. I set my phone down and adjust myself into a more comfortable position. I let my eyes naturally fall. My eyelids begin feeling heavier, until eventually... It seems you've become more aware of it now. And I imagine it won't be long now. Hello? Oh god. Why is my alarm going off? Right. I have a morning class today. Can I even call it that if the sun isn't up? Yesterday had been so mentally exhausting with the big revelation that was dropped on my lap. Looking at the messages on my phone, I know for a fact it wasn't a dream. Waking up this early every Wednesday is not going to be good for my mental health. I can actually hear my head pounding a bit. Hopefully this headache passes when I wake up more. I wonder if it's not too late to switch out of class. I'm already up now, though, so I should at least go this one time. God, that's so pretty. The campus is eerily quiet right now, like a scene from a horror movie. It feels almost like I'm being watched, even though I know that's not the case. How do you know someone could be watching you from one of these windows? I keep turning my head, as if expecting to see some of the cultists from the club fair following me in a white van. However, all I spot are half-awake students trudging sluggishly to various buildings. It's nice to see that being up this early isn't just killing me. Walking up to the building where my class is being held, I'm stopped dead at the door, which is not opening. Am I at the wrong spot? I check my phone again to verify that my class is indeed in this building. This can't be right. It says my economics class is at 6 o'clock. On Thursday! Did I really set my alarm for the wrong day? According to my schedule, I have an intro to astronomy class in 4 more hours. I feel the weight of regret and pain washing over me. So much sleep was lost. And at what cost? What can I even do right now? The cafe won't be open for a few more hours. I could head back to my room and try to get some more sleep, but I've already gotten up. It's not like it would be quality sleep. Let's save it right there. Okay, let's see. Oh, guys, I'm going to try to make the video a bit longer today, so give me one moment. Let me readjust my little clock. You guys keep yourselves entertained for a moment. I am almost done, and bingo! There we go. Okay. Let's walk around campus. Thinking about it, I don't think I've actually really explored the campus much outside of orientation. It doesn't hurt to check some places out. I'm sure there is something open this early in the morning. Walking around campus, I tried recalling the various locations I had heard about from the orientation. The library was easy to find, as was the gym. Unlike the library, however, the gym had a poorly labeled entrance. I'd also managed to find the dining hall tucked away near one of the science buildings. Passing by it was a strange experience. The scent wafting from the facility was not what I expected. I thought I'd smell warm breakfast foods. Instead, the air was permeating with the stench of seafood and some sort of fruit component. My curiosity was somewhat piqued, but I really wasn't hungry yet. Something about the fishy banana smell wasn't really helping either. 1 second, guys. Okay. I ended up settling on the grass near the club fair. The tables were all set up again, and recruiters were passionately preaching to passersby. I wonder how they can get up this early in the morning, put all this together, and still have the energy to try and get others to join them. I feel like I'm running on fumes even now. The sky looks so blue today. The sun feels warm beating down on me like this. It won't be long before nice days like today are replaced with colder ones like yesterday. I feel like I could just drift away from all this. Let all my cares go. It's no wonder I have a headache. I have too much going on. Psychics, school, romance, and money. It'd be so easy if I just didn't have to think about it. I guess the whole thing can't be that crazy. Although, if psychics are real, what else is real? Aliens? Space is pretty big, and there are plenty of theories about ancient civilizations being influenced by otherworldly influences. Ghosts? Speaking to the dead is supposedly a thing psychics can do, right? The grass here feels nice. Hey! This voice sounds familiar. I'm probably mistaken, though. I'm sure whoever it is isn't really talking to me. Do you really think the grass is the best place to be taking a nap? I opened my eyes to see the sight of Aiden standing over me. He looks extra radiant this morning, though that might just be the sun shining behind him. He has a calming smile on his face, but his eyes flash with something else. Concern, or perhaps disapproval. Maybe if I had his empathic abilities, I'd have a better idea of what he is thinking while he looks down on me. Oh, it's a pretty comfortable place to sleep if you ask me. Sure. I suppose if you're fine with dirtying your clothes and smelling like something off the ground. What are you doing here, anyway? I'm the student government president. I make it a point to appear at the fair at least once a day. Right, that makes sense. I guess I just didn't think you'd get here this early. What do you mean, early? Setup started an hour ago. Besides, there are only so many hours in the day. I'd have to be here in the initial hours if I intend to make my other appointments. Do you ever find time for yourself? Certainly. Make it a point to find an hour for leisurely reading every evening. What about all the time you spend with Zoe and the others? I don't necessarily consider that time for myself. It's true that, on occasion, I do find their distraction enjoyable. However, I am in attendance mostly as a favor to Zoe. Didn't Jude say that part of those meetings was to help you all cope with everything? Well, I cannot speak for everyone. I find that my methods of dealing are more than adequate. I'm familiar with my limits, and I am in no way allowing myself to be hindered by my unique disposition. So between school, your big company job, and club meetings, you only have an hour to do what you want. That wouldn't be totally accurate. You make it sound as if I'm a slave to my obligations. I mean, I'm definitely thinking that. I don't know how he can live like that. You know I can feel your doubt, right? It's fine if you don't understand. Very few people ever do. I chose my obligations, and at any point I could choose to drop them. But I don't because they're a means to an end to the ends that I desire. I guess, but don't you worry you're missing out on life? You never know what the future might hold. Well, I guess Quinn might, actually, but life has very few guarantees. I don't think I'd want to give up any more time than I could spend living the life to the fullest. What do you mean, more time? Aiden! Do you mind coming and taking a look at this? A slender peacock interrupts the wolf's sentence. The bird waves Aiden over it, carrying what looks like to be a large paper banner. Whatever Aiden was about to ask was going to have to wait. Duty calls. Sorry, I have to go take care of this. We'll have to continue this another time. Aiden looks me over once more, as if thinking about what I just said before moving away to help the bird. I watch him slowly disappear into the gradually increasing crowd as more people pull onto the main campus area. I can't say I particularly envy him. By choice or not, I don't think I could do what he does. I consider laying back down on the inviting grass, but it's probably a better idea to go back into my room and keep my phone charged. As I get to my door, I found my eyes drawn towards an unfamiliar face exiting the room next to mine. Dan! Oh, hey, you must be my neighbor. Huh? Oh, no, sorry. I was just paying him a visit. I can see that the large hyena is slightly sweating. I guess he and his friend must have done some sort of morning workout. He certainly fits the jock type. Name's Dan, though. You look kind of familiar. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Mason, and I was thinking the same thing. Do we have a class together? That's what it was. I think I saw you in Calc. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Mason, but I gotta go hit the showers. I watch Dan as he walks away. He seems quite worn out by whatever he was doing. He was fucking another dude is what he was doing. Some people take the whole workout thing seriously, I don't think I can start my mornings that way. Oh, you'd be surprised. I really wonder who was in that room. Are we gonna get to find that out? Rook, if you're watching this, I want to know who was in that room. Back in my room, everything looks just like I left it this morning. Oh god, here comes the yawn. Okay. I really need to sit down and find time to really settle in and unpack what few belongings I have. My thoughts are cut short by the interjection of my phone. It looks like the others are all awake. Morning, you guys. Good morning, Zoe. Elliot, your cap's locked. Oops, sorry. Well, I'm sure you haven't forgotten, Zoe. I just felt it was pertinent to remind you of our class starting in a short while. Yes, Mom, don't worry, I didn't forget. What class are you guys taking this morning? It's an intro to astronomy class. Wait, really? Me too. We know. Quinn told us we shared a class this semester. I deduced it was astronomy, as my other classes seemed inappropriate. I guess that makes sense. He's probably taking a ton of business and finance type classes. Still, it's a bit surprising that they knew and didn't tell me. I guess they didn't want to make me uncomfortable. Speaking of Quinn, I wonder where he is right now. Probably in class, though I can't imagine that would keep him from texting. Haven't heard from him this morning. Might still be asleep. I sincerely hope not, but it seems likely. Chances are he stayed up late again on another one of his binges. What are you up to today, Jude? Visiting Mom. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something sweet about a guy in his mid-20s still finding time for his mom. I haven't even been able to get a hold of mine, but I know I'd see her if I could. That's really weird that he can't get a hold of his parents. Oh, I'll tell her I said hi. Okay. I'm gonna put my phone away. Morning rush is going to start coming in. Good luck, Elliot. I'm sure it'll be a good day thanks to you, Mason. Blah! I guess we'll see you in class, Mason. Definitely. Moving over to my bed, I plug my phone into charge for a few minutes before I head back out to class. I am a bit curious if Quinn is actually still asleep, but I don't even know which room it is his, so it's not like I can check up on him. I wonder what kind of premonition told him we were all sharing a class. Did they only sign up for the class because Quinn told them that they had done so in the future? I might be jumping to conclusions, but even so, it would be a bit concerning if they relied on Quinn to make major decisions like that. I'm probably reading too much into this, though. It feels like my brain is going to turn inside out the more I try to understand half of their social dynamics when factoring in psychic abilities. At least I can think about the idea of it all without having some sort of meltdown. I can't imagine how freaked out they must have been yesterday when I just stormed off into the bathroom. That definitely wasn't my best moment. I don't think I've ever felt that overwhelmed before. Well, that's not true. I freaked out pretty badly when I woke up after the accident. It feels like every time I find myself in a new setting, I felt myself shocked by some huge shift in my life. Maybe I'm just bad at adapting to new information. I remember it took me longer than it should have to even comprehend that my parents had gotten divorced after my accident. Speaking of, my dad still hasn't texted me either. I guess I should assume I'm on my own when it comes to money. Whatever, I'll just think about that. I'll just think about what to do after that class. Maybe Zoe or Aiden have some ideas of what I can do. Getting in my classroom proved to be easier than I'd expected. Maybe it was because I'd gotten lost so many times that I'd just gotten used to running behind. Finding the science building while exploring the campus this morning definitely made it a lot easier to find. Walking in, I can see Zoe and Aiden sitting in the front row. I'm not exactly the type to do that, so I moved to grab a seat in the back. Mason, What are you doing, silly? We've got a seat open up here. Well, that's just perfect. Be right there. How exactly does this whole psychic radar of hers work anyway? Do I just walk into a room and she knows exactly where I am? I wonder how far away I need to be for her to no longer be able to sense me. Was wondering when you'd show up. The class is going to be starting soon. Doubtful. This professor has a reputation for being late. I suspect we have several minutes yet before we begin the lecture. It's good to see you made it, Mason. I was worried you might have dozed off on a mound of dirt somewhere. But, Aiden, that's so rude! It's fine, Zoe. He's just joking about something earlier. You had to be there. You guys have an inside joke? No way, you can't do this to me! Tell me what happened. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. Small paper jam with the printers. This is an intro to astronomy. You may call me Mr. Branson. The instructor drops a stack of papers in front of Aiden and motions for him to take one and pass it on. Moving around the room is your copy of the syllabus, as well as instructions for the class project. Class project? Yes, class project. And please, save your questions until the end. We've got a lot to get through. Zoe grumbles as she sits back in her seat. We all then resign ourselves to another orientation. Most of what Mr. Branson says is standard for a course introduction. Yet another series of guidelines that sound similar to every instructor's expectations for their class. Looking over, I can see Zoe's begun doodling stars over her syllabus, while Aiden is taking notes in a small black notebook. Now, the project that I'd mentioned, you will all be writing a research paper on a constellation of your choosing. You'll be expected to provide both scientific and cultural background. The rubric is on the back of your syllabuses. Syllabi? Anyway, are there any questions? Aiden doesn't even wait to be called on. He simply raises his hand and begins speaking. Are we meant to pick different constellations? What about group cooperation? Is there a curve we need to be aware of? The teacher looks astounded as Aiden continues to bombard him with questions. I understand wanting to be informed, but it's just the first day, and the wolf is just relentlessly assaulting the instructor with inquiries. The rest of the class period is spent answering student questions and concerns. Well, that was something. Definitely. Not a fan of having to put a whole research paper together on a constellation. But at least we have all semester to get it done. I agree. I figure if we get one part done every week, it should be perfect at the end of the semester. I disagree. Zoe and I stop moving and turn to Aiden. Rather than work on something all semester, why not simply dedicate our weekend to the assignment? We know all of the requirements thanks to the provided rubric in my inquiries. There's no reason why we shouldn't get it done as soon as possible. Then it's no longer something we need to worry about. Aiden, I get what you're saying, but that seems a little excessive. It's not excessive, it's practical. We'll only be receiving more assignments as the semester progresses. It's better to take care of important ones like this as soon as possible. Back me up here, Mason. Aiden's being a bit much, isn't he? Side with Aiden. You gotta admit, Zoe, being done with a semester-long assignment in the first week is definitely appealing. If you don't have anything more pressing, I don't know why you wouldn't take advantage of the extra time. Jeez, I really didn't take you for the excessively focused type. Zoe scratches her cheek in thought while she looks at Aiden with a pout etched on her face. Tell you what, this weekend while it's still warm, we make a trip out into the woods. We'll find a nice clearing and get some shots for our constellations in the local area. That's bound to be worth some bonus points with the instructor, or at least show some extra effort. Well, that certainly would be a good start. The camping part isn't ideal, but it's necessary to avoid the light pollution by the city. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I can't remember the last time I've ever gone camping. I'm not done. If we do this, I want you to agree to come to Jude's birthday celebration. Zoe, you know how inconvenient. Those are the terms. Take them or leave them. Aiden sighs and begins pacing. He mutters silently to himself while Zoe simply watches on. Is being forced to attend Jude's birthday that big of a deal? I know Aiden said being around Jude is difficult because he's more emotional than most. But even so, it shouldn't require him to be coerced into coming. Right? Fine. You have a deal. Yes, alright. We've got a lot to plan then. Is there anything I can do to help? Honestly, just keeping your weekend free should be enough. This is gonna be so fun. The panda is practically shaking with excitement. I have to agree, this does sound like it'll be a lot of fun. It also seems like a great opportunity to spend quality time with everybody. Right. Well, let's not get carried away. Our priority should still be getting quality pictures for our respective reports. Yes, of course, Aiden. Absolutely, the work comes first. Why do I get the feeling this trip will be over one with tomfoolery? Regardless, I'll be going to the library to get some books to get us started. Sounds good. I'll go make a coffee run then. What should I do then? You're free to get coffee with me if you want, though you'd probably have to navigate Elliot's flirtation. You could join me at the library. I could use an extra set of hands to carry the books. Library. I think I'll help you out, Aiden. I'm sure Zoe doesn't need me to hold a cup of coffee. And there's Alarm Chan, letting us know that it is time to call it a day. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a 20-minute episode of Psychic Connections Aiden's Path. I'm going to start making my other videos 20 minutes. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!